Most investors start with single-family rentals, but there's a point where buying one door at a time stops making sense. Small apartment buildings in the 5 to 12 unit range operate under a completely different set of rules, and the math can work significantly in your favor. This is how to buy an apartment building and analyze a small multifamily real estate deal from the ground up using the exact numbers banks and experienced investors look at. If you're new here, this is real estate investing for beginners taught through actual deal math. No fluff, just formulas you can apply immediately. Let's start with the foundation, net operating income, or NOI. NOI is the property's annual income after operating expenses, but before your mortgage payment. The formula is straightforward. NOI equals gross rental income minus operating expenses. Operating expenses include property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and property management, typically 8 to 10% of rents, plus a vacancy reserve of around 5% and a CapEx reserve of another 5% for future repairs. Here's a real-world example. An 8-unit building where each unit rents for $950 per month. Gross annual income comes to $91,200. After applying a 5% vacancy reserve, effective income drops to $86,640. Subtract operating expenses, taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, and reserves, totaling roughly $30,000 annually, and your NOI lands at approximately $56,640. That number drives everything else in the analysis. Now let's get cap rate explained, the metric banks and buyers use to value commercial real estate. Cap rate equals NOI divided by the property's purchase price, expressed as a percentage. Using our example, $56,640 divided by an $800,000 purchase price equals a 7.1% cap rate. A higher cap rate generally signals more income relative to price, but it can also signal higher risk or a less desirable location. Market cap rates typically range from 5 to 8% for small multifamily, depending on the market and asset condition. Next, how does commercial real estate financing work on a property like this? For 5 or more units, you're in commercial lending territory, and that changes everything. Quick clarification on down payments. 1 to 4 unit residential investment properties typically require 20% down on conventional loans, but commercial multifamily of 5 or more units usually requires 25 to 30% down. Lenders underwrite based on the property's income, not primarily your personal income. This is the core of how DSCR loans work, debt service coverage ratio. DSCR equals NOI divided by your annual mortgage payment.
Most lenders require a minimum DSCR of 1.25, meaning the property must generate 25% more income than it costs to service the debt. On an $800,000 purchase with 25% down, you're financing $600,000. At a 6.75% interest rate on a 25-year amortization, annual debt service is roughly $51,800. DSCR equals $56,640 divided by $51,800. That's 1.09, which falls below most lender thresholds. To make this deal work, you'd need to negotiate a lower price, increase rents, or bring more capital to the table. Let's restructure. Assume you negotiate the purchase price down to $700,000, financing $525,000 with the same terms. Annual debt service drops to roughly $45,300, producing a DSCR of 1.25, right at the lender minimum. Now the cash-on-cash return math becomes meaningful. Cash-on-cash return equals annual pre-tax cash flow divided by total cash invested. With 25% down on $700,000, you invest $175,000 plus roughly $13,000 in closing costs, total cash in of $188,000. Annual cash flow equals NOI minus debt service, $56,640 minus $45,300 equals $11,340. Cash-on-cash return is $11,340 divided by $188,000, about 6%. That's more compelling. And remember, you also benefit from principal paydown, potential appreciation, and tax advantages like depreciation. Total return is typically more than the cash flow line alone. Now the risks, because they're real. Small apartment buildings have concentrated vacancy risk. One bad month with 3 empty units hits your NOI hard. Commercial loans often carry balloon payments after 5 to 10 years, meaning you'll need to refinance or sell, and rates may not be in your favor. Deferred maintenance on older buildings can drain your CapEx reserves fast, so always budget conservatively and get a thorough inspection, and never assume current rents are market rents without verifying comparable units in the area. Here's the takeaway. Small multifamily properties can outperform single-family rentals on a per-dollar basis because you're scaling income under one roof, one loan, and one set of operating costs. But the math has to work. NOI, DSCR, and cash-on-cash return aren't optional metrics. They're your decision framework. Check the links in the description below for deal analysis templates, financing resources, and related breakdowns to sharpen your investing toolkit. If you found this useful, subscribe for more deal analysis breakdowns like this one.